Congressman Pat Fallon joins me now. Congressman, as you may have just heard, the White House is considering federalizing the Texas National Guard, which could mean a direct clash at the border between federalized troops and the state authorities. Are we going to see a confrontation?
Well, Stuart, that'd be a huge mistake for the Biden administration if they do that. The last time any National Guard troops were federalized was during the Eisenhower administration and the Little Rock Nine. And if Joe Biden does this, he may be, go down in history as the Mexican drug cartel 9 million, because there have been almost 9 million people that have crossed the border illegally over the last 3 years under his watch. So I think politically it's a disaster. I think from a policy standpoint, it would be a horrible move. But we'll see. But this administration has done both those things. They've made bad policy decisions, and they've made bad political ones.
Well, how do you see this playing out? There's got to be some kind of resolution at some stage here. What's the resolution?
Well, what would be wonderful is some Trump-era policies worked very well. Wait in Mexico. I was down on the border, Stu, a few weeks ago, and the Customs and Border Protection agents were telling us if Joe Biden just instituted the Wait in Mexico policy, that we would see a 70% reduction in the flow of illegals to our border. But he refuses to do that. He has the power, he has the tools at his disposal right now under executive authority to solve this, not even crisis anymore, really. It's a cataclysm. He chooses not to. It boggles my mind.
The Senate discussion, the Senate border discussion, looks likely to collapse because Trump says it's meaningless. That's the impact of Trump's surge on Congress. He's going to wreck, and I'm not saying this is bad or good, but he is going to make those talks collapse on the border.
Well, quite frankly, Stu, where we were before, there wasn't anything that was, there was no real teeth in that agreement. It was window dressing, quite frankly. We need, the teeth that we need in there. We need expedited removal. We need wait in Mexico. We need to build additional, if Joe Biden wants to call them barriers and not walls, I could care less. But we need barriers along the southern border. Those are the concrete things that will help mitigate this crisis dramatically. And those weren't in the agreement anyhow. So I do agree with President Trump. We got to get serious and put some teeth into these compromises.
The Democrats say, look, the Republicans are just spinning this out. They don't want a solution. They want a political issue for the election, and they're exploiting this as a political issue. What's your response to that?
They couldn't be more wrong. And you know what? If the Democrats didn't have double standards, Stuart, they wouldn't have any standards at all. That is ridiculous. I'm an American. I'm a Texan. I want to see this border crisis solved forthwith. We were talking about it back when it exploded in February of 2021. Yep. And it's really simple. Hey, Democrats, encourage Joe Biden to reinstitute Wait in Mexico. That will solve it right there. I don't know one Republican in Congress that doesn't want to see this resolved. That's just a political pandering to their left-wing base. It's not true, and it's quite frankly absurd.
I'd like to see how this thing's going to pan out over this weekend, because some kind of resolution or confrontation is likely to happen. Congressman Fallon, thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. See you soon.